Neck and neck to the tape, clear contrasts, and a whirlwind weekend coming up. We are 3 days away from one of the most critical elections in Canadian history. This remains a two-horse race between Pierre Poilievre's Conservatives and Mark Carney's Liberals. Industry polling shows the Liberals with an edge, while independent polls are now showing Poilievre with a possible lead. It's almost time for the final ballots to be cast, and today we will break down where the two lead parties stand on key issues and where the leaders are going to be campaigning over this weekend if you want to hear them in person. Key comparisons on Trump. Both leaders support negotiations with the U.S. president while also seeking stronger international trade relationships beyond the U.S. On federal debt spending, Conservatives have planned to balance the budget within 4 years by cutting waste, eliminating $1.50 in waste spending for each new dollar that they allocate, and reducing deficits by 70%. Liberals are planning $130 billion in new deficits over 4 years, adding $225 billion to the federal debt. On taxes, Conservatives will lower the lowest federal income tax rate from 15% to 12.75%. The Liberals will lower that same tax rate to 14%. On housing, Conservatives will encourage private enterprise and cutting red tape, aiming to build over 2.3 million homes in 5 years. Liberals will create a federal housing agency and work with private businesses to build 3.9 million homes, hopefully in 6 years. Both plan to lower the GST on new builds in measure. On charitable status, Conservatives have pledged to protect the charitable status of churches and pro-life groups. Liberals, by lack of comment, have left the door open to reviewing or removing charitable status for religious organizations. On personal vehicles, Liberals are pushing to ban the sale of new gas and diesel vehicles by 2035. Conservatives support Canadians' right to choose their vehicle type and oppose heavy-handed bans. On free speech, Conservatives will repeal online censorship laws put in place by the Trudeau Liberals, and the Liberals will retain those laws while expanding them under the banner of monitoring misinformation. They will also broader definitions of what that is. On parental rights, Conservatives are standing with provincial leaders like Danielle Smith to protect a parent's right in gender discussions with their children. Liberals continue to support funding for gender surgeries and minors and oppose parental notification requirements. On support for Israel, Conservatives will move the Canadian embassy to Jerusalem and have strongly defended Israel's right to self-defense. Carney has not clearly stated his position on Israel's right to defend itself. On Western unity, Conservatives will repeal Bill C-69, the so-called anti-pipeline bill, which Premier Danielle Smith has said must be removed to avoid an unprecedented national unity crisis. Carney will not repeal the bill and is willing to risk a unity crisis to maintain the legislation. On MAID, Conservatives will not expand medical assistance in dying to include the mentally vulnerable and children. Liberals have also left the door open on this for the expansion of it to happen in 2027. On most of the issues, the contrast could not be clearer, but you can still hear the leaders for yourself in person. Pierre Poilievre will be in Delta, BC in the morning and Sudbury, Ontario in the evening. That's Saturday. On Sunday, he will visit 4 locations in Ontario, Oakville, Pickering, Peterborough, and his own riding of Carleton. Mark Carney is expected to be in Windsor, Ontario on Saturday, though full details have not yet been publicly released. Both leaders are making a strong final push, and every single vote will matter. If you have not yet voted, make your plan now. Visit elections.ca to find your voting location and visit formycanada.com for a free voter's guide on these and other issues. And remember, join us Monday night starting at 6 o'clock Eastern Time for election coverage live on Merit TV. It will be insightful, fast-moving, and fun. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm Faytene for Merit TV. This is what voters need to know, reporting from New Brunswick.